Hey everybody, it is Friday, and this is the fourth episode of me making a game called Sand City. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Probably gotta update all my stuff. Sorry I'm like 15 minutes late, but I was feeling under the weather earlier today, so I am feeling a little better, and we're gonna get this stream done. Alright, we are doing game development. Game development. Oh, wait, I'll put it here just so you can see. And this is going to be, yeah, okay. ETdoFresh, Unity3d, Season 1, Episode 4. We are doing what? Today we'll be doing camera movement. Awesome. Yeah, that looks good. So, that looks good? Okay, so we got camera movement. I'll just post up on Facebook this time. It's on my name, game dev stream, start it, and that, post. Okay, cool. Alright, so, what do we have? Alright, this is our Unity scene. Last time we left off on movement. We joined animation, rigid body, and nav mesh all into one thing. So let's just see if we have any bugs. I think I saw a bug as I was leaving last time. Let's see, so if I click here, he runs, and he stops, that's good. Click over here, he runs. So, oh, he kind of stutter stepped there. Yeah, he's like stuttering stepping. I don't like how, like, if I click the other way, he just stops in his tracks. Like, he doesn't slow down. That's okay. Doesn't look too bad. But the stutter step I am a little worried about. So if I click on player, let's kind of just look at this forward variable up here to see what's going on. Goes straight to 1. Goes to 1. I just want to make sure I'm feeding the animator the right thing. Yeah. I think I saw something. Yeah, I don't know. Let me look at navigation. Maybe that will kind of help me understand what's going on. I see what's going on. I'm using velocity, and you can see as it's getting closer to, like, if I click here, look, the velocity's going there, but if I click the other way, the velocity comes down, so it shrinks down to 0 and then comes back up to 1. So it's like, so that's why he's stutter stepping. So that is a bug for sure. See, he kind of stutter steps there. So I need to figure out why, or what I can do to fix that. Maybe I don't use the desired direction. He just runs the way that the nav mesh agent tells him to do it. So yeah, that's what I probably have to do. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the scripts, the rigid nav mesh body movement, see if we can fix that bug. I know exactly where that bug could live, so we just got to get to it. So when we are actually moving the guy, which is where? Here, move, where we're doing animated desired velocity. So right now we're going the direction of the desired normal velocity, the desired velocity of the nav mesh, which is always going to be towards your target. But we're also using the velocity magnitude, which kind of is max, and then you saw how when it gets closer to the player it shrinks and then it comes back up, which causes the stutter step. So that's this. I wonder what would happen if I just used velocity in here and kind of just commented this whole thing out. We'll see. Alright, so now the nav mesh is totally deciding the velocity. I don't know why I pushed that block. So, oh, nice. kind of nice. I mean, now he doesn't like just stop and turn around. He has to turn around, kind of slows down. I don't know if I like that or not. He runs too far, and then he has to turn around. But he does have to stop, right? So, I mean, it makes sense. He doesn't seem like he's slowing down enough, I guess. Like he runs right past it. So if I click back, you see, like he runs way past it, and then he comes back. So there's no like stopping. You can't tell him like stop here, unless you tell him to stop. Then he stops. Yeah, his stopping behavior is kind of weird if you try to tell him to go somewhere else. Because he does good at stopping where he needs to stop. Let me see his navigation as he's kind of running around. Yeah, I mean, oh, yeah, and I guess we can really solve that by two variables on the navmesh agent, which is, I think, fine. I think this is how we should modify all of this stuff. Where is the navmesh agent? I want to make sure you see it on the screen too. Okay, so up here, and no angular speed. Yeah, let's get some of that back. We'll just say 180 for now. See what happens. Oh Lord, bug, bug, bug. He fell off the world. Alright, so yeah, definitely variables we have to play with on here. So I'm going to say, let's give him 360 angular speed, and I'm going to give him a slightly higher acceleration too. So now, click on navigation. There we go. Now he's not as, he can make quicker movements. I think that feels better. And he turns around, which is cool. He doesn't just stop in his tracks and goes. I guess I should do the slow radius thing too, like I did in my previous attempt at this, because he kind of just stops, right? Like he should kind of slow down to a stop. But yeah, if you click down here and then try to click back up there, he can fall off the world. Like you see, he's off the navmesh plane. And he can't make it back up. So yeah, I probably want to like give just a little extra border around here for him to run on, so he doesn't fall off the world. Okay, cool. Sorry, yeah, this is just a little bug fixing before I start the camera stuff. So okay, he runs, he kind of stops. So we definitely don't need this line of code, and I want to do later, and I'll just put that in the notes. I want to do slow radius. So okay, here we go. This is what we're talking about today. We're talking about camera movement, and we'll be switching from a third-person view to a first-person view. And you won't have very much movement in the first-person view. It's more just so you can see the ground. So that is what I'm going to try to get through today. We might just get through camera movement, but I also want to have a slow radius on movement. Basically, as he approaches the target, I want him to slow down a little bit so you can see that he's kind of goes from a run to a walk down to a stop. Okay, nice. Camera movement. So let's talk about camera movement. Right now, the camera is static in this scene. It's right here. You see it? It's off the world a little bit, pointing down towards it. And so what I want to do is I want the camera to follow the player. That's not too hard, but the part that will be hard is like if you kind of want it kind of dynamic, where like the camera's not always static on the player, moving with the player, but you know, if the player moves to like a certain distance around the screen, like then you want it to kind of start following him. So let's see, how are we gonna do this? when I think about the camera, I kind of think of like a source and target kind of situation where the camera is the source and the player will be the target. And like, so if a target, so there'll be three objects basically: camera, target, and player. So if the player moves too far away from where the camera is looking at the target, then the target becomes or starts moving towards the player until it gets within a certain distance of the player. So that is how I'm kind of thinking about how I'm going to set up that script. I don't know exactly what I'm thinking. Instead of moving just the target, because if I move just the target, the source is still and it'll just keep looking at the target wherever it goes. But maybe I'll keep the camera and the target together, and so it moves together and kind of has sort of like a, I don't know, like, it's basically the camera moves with the player as opposed to the target moving with the player, and the camera just kind of rotating. One's like a security camera kind of view, and the other one's kind of like the camera moves with you, kind of like a sports kind of view or something. Like if you see like a football player running, like the camera moves with the football player. So that's what I'm thinking. So let's try to set up that script. So I'm going to make a new script, new C# script, camera script, camera. Let's just call it camera follow target. Alright, I got a text. Let me check. Okay, all good. Alright, so we got a new Unity function here, camera follow target. What are the things we need? We're going to need a target. So it's going to be just a vector3, nothing special, not really an object or anything, just three numbers. Where is the target? We're going to attach this to the camera, so we don't really have to worry about its position because that's part of the transform, the built-in transform function. So we have the camera, the target, and then we'll call this a serialized field. And this other, which I'll just call transform, will be, hey, see I have the word target. Maybe I'll just call this, because really this is the target, right? Transform target. And then a float. And instead of target, we'll call this maximum distance from target. Yeah. And I'll call this vector3 a target tracker. So this kind of figures out, hey, how far is the target away from where he was last seen. Alright, so hopefully this stuff will make a little sense. Alright, so we have three things: target, max distance from target, and target tracker. So, right now I'm going to say, hey, if there is a target, if target doesn't equal null, target tracker equals target dot position. So I'm just basically initializing target tracker. Otherwise it'll just be 0, 0, 0. Cool. And that's all. Don't need to get anything from the camera, because all we'll be doing is moving the position of the camera if it needs to be. Oh, yeah, I guess what we should also keep is the don't know yet. We'll just keep going. Okay, so we got the target tracker. On update, all we'll be doing is checking for the same thing: if target doesn't equal null. So if target, so we check that. We're also checking if target tracker, if target position minus target tracker is greater than max distance from target. So we're just checking, hey, is the yeah, I gotcha. We gotta say magnitude for each of these. So we're checking if the target moved past the max distance from the tracker. What we're gonna do is some stuff. We're gonna move the camera and we're gonna move the target tracker by that same amount. So let's get a vector 3 delta position. So the change in position, basically how much does the target tracker have to move before it gets into range. So okay, this is where it's going to get fun. We basically want the target tracker to move as little as possible so it can get within range. So always kind of like if the target was in the center of a circle, and the target tracker is up here, we just wanted to get to the edge of the circle. So like basically there's this, not even a circle, there's a sphere surrounding your target all the time, and the second your tracker moves outside of that sphere, the tracker is going to have to make it move a little bit so it gets back within the sphere. So that is the plan here. So let's see here. Delta position. We got the target position. I think I got it. We're basically gonna grab this again. So this is the distance, and then all we got to do is minus the max distance from target. So now we got the minimum movement that we need. Do we? What's target position dot magnitude have to do with any of this? It doesn't. I know what I did wrong. I'll put this in parentheses. Here we go. Don't mind that other delta position. This is a delta position. This is going to equal target position. Target dot position minus target tracker. That is the delta position vector. Okay. And now if we're going to say, hey, if this delta position magnitude is greater than max distance from target, then so we got the change. Then we basically say float change in magnitude. This is how much we're going to have to move the tracker, or desired tracker movement, I guess would be better. I'm trying to think of a good word. Alright, so that would be delta position dot magnitude minus max distance from target. So because delta position dot magnitude is greater than the max distance target, we'll get a positive number here always, because that's how much we have to move to get back within that sphere. And then all we do is target dot tracker dot position. Oh yeah, it's not a position, it's a vector 3. It's going to be plus equal the movement we have to do times the so see, the delta position is going from the position to the target tracker. So it's going to actually be a negative number, because if you're going from the target to the tracker, now we want to move the tracker back towards the position. So we got to go negative. So negative desired delta position. And I'll do the same for the camera. So the camera's position is, we're going to attach this to the camera. So it's going to be transform.position plus equals desired tracker movement times negative delta position. So we did that twice. We could probably make that a local variable, but I didn't. Okay, maybe this will work. We'll see. And max distance from target by default will be 0. So that means if the target ever moves, there is no difference between the camera and the target, so it'll always move together. But if I make this a little higher, the target has a little wiggle room to move around, and the second he moves a little too far, the camera starts following him again. So that's kind of how I think of this. So let's see if that works. So we got our main camera, we got a camera follow target script. So I'm going to just drag that script straight to main camera. Yep, that looks good. So if I click here on main camera, back to the inspector, we should have this camera follow. I'm going to make the player the target, and I'll leave it at 0 now just to see if it has the expected behavior. Oh lord, it does not. So let's see what's going on. Main camera is not valid. Input position is NA infinity NA. Let's double click it, see where it leads us. Transform that position, desired tracker movement. What am I doing wrong? Probably everything. Alright, target position minus target tracker. Let's just, I'm going to return here, and I'm going to debug.log. Okay, right now all I'm doing is just doing a little debugging. I'm trying to figure out what in the world is delta position every update and just return it. So none of this code is going to be run. So it should give me some warnings and stuff, probably if I go to error list. Unreachable code, yeah, because I'll never reach this code. That's okay. Warnings are not bad if you know what you're doing. Here we go. There is nothing in the console at all. Where's the console? Here it is. Yep, nothing. Oh man, and I made it fall again. Alright, so what are we doing? What's wrong? So max distance from target is 0. Delta position, not magnitude, should almost always be 0. I mean, should almost always be greater than max distance from target. So we're trying to get a delta position. Oh, if target does not equal null, which it doesn't, right? It should be the player's transform, yeah. Well, just so I can see this variable, I'm also going to make this a serialized field, just so I can see it in the editor. Okay, so that's where the tracker target is. Tracker target does not move. Oh, because we're not running that code, I guess. Target tracker is never moving, so we definitely need some target tracker. Oh yeah, but we need all that rest of that code. Okay, shoot. Let's go ahead and just do everything except move the camera. Oof, it goes to infinity for some reason. Alright, well, good to know. So why would it go to infinity? Or just a crazy number altogether? Let's think about it. So we got the delta position. Delta position, there's got to be some kind of magnitude. Maybe it's this negative thing. Maybe I'm not supposed to do negative. Maybe I thought of it wrong. But let me just go through it right quick. Delta position dot magnitude is greater than the max distance from target, which is 0, so it's almost always true. Desired track movement is going to be the magnitude of the delta position minus the max target, which will be a positive number because of all that. And now I'm just saying, oh yes. So I'm not trying to multiply it by the delta position, I'm trying to multiply it by the delta position normalized, because I just want the direction of the delta position. I know how much I need to move, I just need to move it by the towards that direction. So that's what I forgot to do. So let's play that. This shouldn't go to infinity anymore, it should just track the player. Yep, now the player's at 0, that's where the player is. And so if I move the player around, player should almost always be at 0, and really gotta figure out what to do with this player movement. I'm still not done with player movement, I see. Woohoo! Yeehaw! At least he's doing his thing. He can jump around, he can jump over stuff. Yep. Yeehaw! Yep. Trying to get him on the box. Oh, he jumped off the world. Okay. Oh. What's up, Adrian? Yeah. So, okay, I got the guy moving around. I got, let's see, I got him moving around. The camera. So the camera should be working now. Let's check it out. Adrian with 2 N's. How's it going, man? Alright, so, okay, I might need that negative, because you can see it's moving the wrong way. It's not moving with the player, it's moving against the player. So that negative was right. Oh, nice. He tripped over the box. Okay, so that negative was right. Oh, shoot. I didn't do that normalized. So, I need to, yeah. That's cool. Or maybe the negative's wrong. I don't remember. Oh gosh. Instead of me actually thinking about it, I'm just going to change the signs. Okay, now it definitely moves with the player. And it basically, the tracker started where the player started off, so it started a little high, so now the player's a little low. So, here we go. So, interesting view of the world, but not what I want. So we can do a few things. We can ignore the Y altogether. I can start the tracker at Y equals 0. No. Yes. Maybe. Is that what I want to do? I forget. Maybe delta position never has a Y component to it right now. And I'll delete this debug. And I can now delete this. All this was for debug purposes. So there's no Y component to this whatsoever. It's all X and Z now, which might not be bad. So the camera will now follow the player without hesitation. And all the time. So if that's what you want, kind of like, you could almost think of it as a selfie stick from but like basically the player is holding a selfie stick at this position all the time, and that's what it is. Okay. Not bad, not great, not what I want exactly. But it's all reliant on how close the camera is in the initial setup of the player. So like, if I move the player, well, at least this script is, if I move the player a little bit closer to the camera and did it like that, hit play, the camera will always be this close to the player, you see? So it's all about the initial way the player is set up, because that's where the tracker gets started, right? So I hope that makes sense. Alright, so good, but not exactly what I want. What else can I do? What else can I do? I mean, that's actually not a bad view though. I probably want them a little more centered though, like kind of like here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. let me up this acceleration because that's what's kind of what's the problem to begin with. The speed's good. I'm gonna up this to 360 just so he doesn't like fly off the world like he did the other time. Yeah, that feels better. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. He's on the box. I did it. Oof. I think I need to make the capsule smaller when he jumps too. Uh-oh. This is a problem. He's stuck on boxes. He's about to fall though. I can see it on the inspector. Alright. Camera movement not bad. I like it. Good enough for now. Oh, and let me show you the other part of the script. Can you see it here? No, it's on the camera, and it should be a little high. Yeah, it should be fine. You can see that. If I put a little distance in here, he has a little wiggle room, so he can kind of move around without the camera moving. But the second he moves too far, the camera starts following him. So that's the other part I liked about this. Like he can kind of get away or get a little closer. And if you make this kind of big, like 10, the camera will almost never move except if you're like all the way on the edge of the screen. So the camera doesn't move, doesn't move, doesn't move, and then it starts moving like right when you're getting close to the edge of the screen. Maybe it's too close for that part. So okay, let's see how close you have to get to the camera for this to move forward. Yeah, the 10's too close for the I don't know what direction this is. Is this X? I don't know, or Z. It's one of these, but this dimension is not set up exactly right. You probably want the player to be a little bit further away to start off with. Alright, so now, oh, it's at 0. So if I did it back at 10, where's my camera? Not that 10's a good number, it's just so you can get the extreme value. So if you go like 10, if you get maybe like 50% off the screen. Let's see how far you gotta run forward. Yeah, way too far. But then it starts moving. Oh, you still can't get it to move this way. Oh yeah, you gotta be like right there. So even now I set it up too close. Anyway, you get the idea. Basically there's a target, a sphere around it, and like the second he moves outside of that sphere, the camera starts moving. So right now I think a good number will probably be like 3 or 4. Let's do 3. I'll play it one more time just to get a good feel for it. Dun, dun. Yeah, I like that. So he has a little wiggle room, so if he does like little stupid like turns and whatever he's doing, but then if he moves out, maybe 4 or 5 might be better. I'll go 5. Yeah, I like that better. Yep, that looks good to me. If I would start him off closer to the ground too. How do I do that? Like that? Yeah. Alright, sorry, I heard some sounds. I don't have to get rid of this Y component then. Cool, sorry Adrian, I'm not seeing your text, man, or your chats. It makes no sounds when you chat. Yeah, man, that's cool. You're into game making, dude? So now even if he jumps, I guess not. I added the Y component back, but I don't think he can even make enough. He can't even make enough distance. Or actually, even when he jumps, the nav mesh guy and I guess the player is stuck at 0, so it doesn't really matter. Cool. Alright, that is the camera position. All in like 30 something minutes. And that's with bug fixes, so really the camera took no time at all. But now the hard part. switching from third person to first person. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but we'll think about it, and maybe we can make a little code to make that happen. Let's see, let's think. What to do. Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for the support. I really do appreciate it. Like, I know I'm getting all technical and stuff, but I really want to get a game through, man. I just want to get it to a point where I have a game under my belt and I'll be like, yep, I made that game. So that's the goal. That's the goal of this whole stream. Alright. So I gotta focus. Next part, getting the camera, third person to first person. So let me think about it. Alright, so right now the camera is kind of far away, looking at the player like that. My goal is to get the camera in front of his face, but not, I mean, maybe right now, just so I can test it, instantly in front of his face. Maybe a toggle or something. Maybe I can just hit a button, it'll toggle between two cameras. Like, I'm at main camera, now I'm at camera in front of him. Or maybe I just move the camera, main camera in front of him. I don't need to have multiple cameras. I don't know. How should I approach this? I think I'm gonna do, you know what? I might just have a camera on player. It's an interesting thought for sure. So basically, camera here. And then if I kind of zoom in on player, we take camera, move them up. Let's probably use main camera though, right? Oh, no, just use the camera I have selected. Confused. I mean, obviously the main camera is there, but now the game is in like first person mode. I don't know. I don't know much about cameras in Unity right now. So let's figure this out. It's got to be like a default camera. Well, this is what I'll do for now. It'll be not enabled. Then what happens if I enable it? So I guess it always renders the last camera in the path. So if I did this, like move main camera down here. So yeah, I gotta be careful, cause no? Oh wait, move the main camera way back up there. I don't know. Let's look at some of these options. You got calling mask, perspective, field of view. Yeah, this all changes the view kind of. The viewport rectangle, the depth. So if I made this -1, -2. Oh. So yes, it is rendering both cameras. But it's all about the depth. So which camera is it rendering first? So even if we made this -1, I guess it's the newer -1, so it uses that one second. So it draws the first camera, then the second camera right on top of it, which is this first person view. So okay, I like the idea of having this at a different depth, like at 0 for now. So it always renders, but I want it disabled to begin with. So basically you're here. When you click the toggle, I want main camera to be disabled and other camera to be enabled. But then that might mess up some scripts with the main camera, so I wonder how that will work. We'll find out right now, actually. Let's go ahead and enable this guy. What happens if I click here? I think he moves there. Like, I don't know where it's casting rays from now. So I'm doing clicks because of my movement script, right? Like, my movement script uses main.camera, so I have to disable my movement script. I have to anything that uses camera main, camera.main. Interesting. Okay. We'll start the script. The toggle camera script. I was about to write the word script. Not necessary though. Okay. So what we're gonna have, let's get a reference to both our cameras. Or a list of cameras. What about that? List of, array list. I want a generic list. Good old C# generic list. Let's see. I mean, I could do an array list. I don't want to do an array list. Let's go ahead and just type the whole thing out first. Camera. Maybe then it will give me the right option. Camera, we'll call this cameras, and then it'll just be a new list. Camera, perfect. Here we go, that's what I wanted. Using system generic. So we'll have a list of cameras. If we hit a certain key, like C, I'm thinking for camera, I can toggle between two cameras. Alright, so first we got to get the cameras. So cameras.add, camera.main, done. Cameras.add, I don't know how to get this one. Alright, so everything's going to have the camera component. So what I'm really going to do is we're going to get components, get components, not just here. Nope, we got to do a, what about game component? Like, I wonder if I could do like a find on just a game component, not the actual camera. Game component dot find, nothing. Oh, that's get component. Game component. Is that not even a class? Come on. It's not, because it's a generic. Okay. Shoot. Alright, let's just do a game object. Dot find objects with tag, find objects of type. Find object of type. Find objects of type. Is there find objects of type? That is what I need. So yeah, I found it, but I'm not doing anything with it. Oh, and what do you return, my good friend? You return an array of cameras. Awesome. So all we got to do is just say cameras dot add. I think add range, and you can do it some kind of enumerable, which I think NRA is enumerable. Alright, add range game object dot find. So we're taking an array, making it in a more dynamic list, a C# list. That should give us all our cameras. If I do camera.main, what is that? It's a camera type. Okay, cool. So, good. I'm just making sure we're all using the same type of object, which is camera, 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 camera everywhere. So, looks like that is the case. So here we go. The code. If input dot get button down, string name button, let's not use get button down, get key down, key code, the C key. So if you press the C code down, what happens? Am I missing an extra parentheses? I'm not. So if you press the T, we're going to toggle the camera. So this is what else we'll have to do. Int index, current index. And I forgot my little underscore. Whoa, you went way too high. Current index equals 0. Camera current camera equals, we'll fix that down here. Oh, whoa, 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 don't need to delete all of it, just some of it. Current camera, so current camera is current index. Perfect. Oh, equals camera's current index. Alright, so we're adding a list of all the cameras in the scene. We're getting the current index of 0. That's what we're setting it as. So typically, hopefully, that would be the main camera, but we'll see for sure. And then, since the current index is 0, we're just making sure that the current camera is going to be the first element in this list, which is 0. Okay, so if you hit C, what we want to do is we're going to increment the index or add 1 to it, and we'll get the next camera in the scene. But if it's too big, we will go back to the beginning, to the first camera. So in this scene we have 2 cameras, one at 0, one at 1. So we'll be at the 0th camera, and then we'll be at the first camera, and then we'll be at the 0 camera, and then we'll be at the first camera every time we hit C. So let's do it. Current index plus plus. Or if I really want to just do everything in one line, we'll say current index plus 1, and then we'll do this whole thing modulus. Modulus is just remainder. So think of division. So like 2 modulus, no, 1 modulus 2 will be 1. So if you think of like division, 1 divided by 2, here I'll just write it out. 1 divided by 2 is equal to 0 remainder 1, right? Remainder 1. So modulus is this remainder portion. If I did 2 divided by, and this is divide, I mean modulus. Well actually, for what I'm showing you right now. 2 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 0. 3 divided by 2 equals 1, remainder 1. Yeesh. So anyway, modulus is the second part, the remainder part. Division is going to be the first part. So just FYI. So modulus, and I'm going to get the size of the list. So camera.count. ports, I think is cool. So this should be 2, so this will just be modulus 1. So if it's the current index is going to be current index plus 1. So if the current index is 1, this modulus will make it stay at 1. If this is 2, it will go back down to 0. I hope that makes sense. Kind of like an efficient way to loop around the list. Okay, so current index is that, and cameras. Current camera equals cameras dot current index. Alright, so we have it specified here in the script. We haven't done anything. All we're doing is kind of like switching cameras within the script. Let's make it actually do something at this point. So this is what I will do. For each, you ready? For each camera in cameras, so if the camera does not equal current camera, then I want you to disable it. Camera dot enabled equals false. So that's a nice nifty little loop. It's basically going to check, hey, check the entire list for all your cameras. If the camera is not equal to current camera, disable it. And then we got to put one more check, because I've mentioned something about the movement. So if camera does not equal camera.main, something like that, current camera does not equal camera.main, I'm going to disable the movement script on the player. I could, yeah, this is hard, because my movement script is movement and control. And I think the reason Unity kind of separated the two scripts is so that like if you had AI using just the movement part of the movement script, you wouldn't have to disable all movement in the scene. You can just disable the control part of it. But for now, since the only thing that does move in the scene is the player, I'm going to just find all instances of our humanoid movement script, or nav mesh rigid body movement script. So for each, we'll just call it movement script. There'll only be one, the one on player. In game object dot find objects of type movement, what's it called, nav mesh rigid body movement. Yeah, good old long crazy thing. For each of those, movement script dot enabled equals false. Else, if it is, enable all the movement scripts. I know, that's really weird, messy looking code, but I just wanted to disable it while we're looking at the first person camera. Gosh, I hope this works. So I think I got it. If you press C, it's going to toggle cameras. That was the goal of this whole thing. So if I drag this toggle camera, actually, yeah, Unity's going to yell at me for this. Maybe I'll do it in Visual Studio right quick. Solutions, assets, standard assets. How do I rename this without things getting mad at me? Scripts, toggle camera. If I rename this, will it rename the class? Camera toggle. Alright, so it's renamed here. Oh well, I'll just do it here. I'm trying to find a way to get it so that it keeps this name consistent. Because, oops, camera. It needs to be camera. This name needs to be consistent with the file name, otherwise Unity starts yelling at you. Okay, cool. Did I put that on main camera yet? It's gonna be on main camera. So, alright. Moment of truth. Camera follow still works. Awesome. Boing. Alright. Toggle time. Oh, see his crotch too, by the way. And it's not working. Nothing is happening. And I can't see if anything's happening. So let's go figure out why. Yep, sure. Serialized field. I don't know if I can see a list in... Yeah, I can see a list in Unity. I'm just, this is for debugging purposes only. Alright, let's see, current cameras. All we got is main camera. So there's really nothing to toggle between if there's only main camera. Oh, maybe because it's disabled? If I hit play and try it again. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, let us do all this. Let's do something right quick here. We're gonna refactor this. Control RR. Nope. Control RM. Put it into a new method. This new method is going to be called. We are going to enable one camera. Oh snap! I don't even think I'm doing that. So we'll do that. Enable only one camera. Bam. So what we're going to do is current camera dot enabled equals true. Everyone else is going to be false. And then that whole movement script stuff, which doesn't really apply to enable camera, but that's where it's going to live right now. And I'm going to do this here at the start too, so that it disables the other camera. So hopefully that will work. Nope. Second camera still enabled. Oh, because camera 0 is camera. And let me just give this a more meaningful name. Player camera. So instead of current index being 0, I'm thinking we really want this to be the main camera. Well, I definitely know I want current camera to equal camera.main. Current index is going to be, maybe I can do something here, equals cameras.find index of current camera. Yes, this is feeling better. So even if oh, come on, what do you want? Find index. Tell me more. Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to do. That's not the one I'm trying to do. Nope. Find index. Searches for an element that matches a condition. Yes, that is exactly what I want. Current camera. Current camera is a camera. Let's read what the error is. The best overload match for system generic Unity camera. Find index system predicate Unity camera. Has some invalid. Cannot convert. Oh. Something silly, I guess. Oh well, it was good. It was a good try. Maybe I can do this. As just totally hacking this up. Unity engine camera. Good old hacks. Hacksaws. Instead of as, what I can do is just cast it. So casting, you just put parentheses around it. I don't think you're buying what I'm selling, because I'm not. Cannot convert type Unity camera to system. Oh, so you can't even do it. Well, if you can't do it there's no hope. So, what I'll have to do is for each, my favorite, for each camera and cameras, for each camera and cameras, if camera equals current camera, current index equals, I'm not there yet either, am I? Still not solving my problem. For I equals 0, I less than, for int I, for int I equals 0, I need the index. I less than current, nope, cameras dot count, I plus plus, good old basic for loop. If cameras I equals current camera, current index equals I, happy for loop. And I think that will do it. A lot of extra work for very little gain. Well, maybe a lot of gain. So okay, I got camera, oh shoot, let me rename this outside of play mode, player camera. So we'll go to main camera, we have player camera, main camera. Right now it just goes to the main camera, so I love it. Dun dun dun. And then if I hit C, which is crouch and camera, first person mode, back to this mode. He's also crouching at that point. So let's see, if I make him run and go first person, will I see him running in first person? Oh yeah. Oh, nope. Oh, the movement script's disabled. So I wonder if the nav mesh is going. I have no idea what the nav mesh is even trying to do. I find it funny though. Find it hilarious. Oh, the mad mesh went because the next position is not being updated, nor is the animation, nor anything else. Cool. It's doing what I wanted to do, just not like I wanted to do it. Interesting. Yeah. Like I said, Unity separates the controls and the actual movement into two different scripts, and that might be the smart way to go, because right now I disabled the movement, so it really breaks the whole engine down, whereas I just really want to disable me clicking around to get them to move. So yeah, I definitely need to separate those two. But the part that I did want to test is working, so if he's really just standing still, you can definitely get him to switch camera views. Maybe I'll and what a good feature might be is when you switch to player camera, get it to be at the position and rotation of main camera, and then like lerp it or something to the where player camera should be. So that's cool. Now we got a first person view of anything we want to do. So like I'm trying to jump on one of these boxes. And then we can camera, hey, we got the view from on top of the box. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, this guy definitely needs, well, the capsule's probably the best kind of collider, because if you get stuck on the box, he eventually gets down. His animation's pretty funny. No. Oh, you see his hands too. Hilarious. That is pretty cool. I like that you can see his hands. Dun, dun. His hands. That's cool. That's truly first person. Hey, what's up? NG Ninja Frack? Is that what it is? Ninja Frack? So cool. I got first person to third person view change working pretty good. I still think I want to increase the camera movement. I see him just fine, so I don't really need to move the camera that much. Dun, 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 dun. Man, there's something about the movement engine I wanted to fix, and now I totally forgot what it was already. Alright, just having too much fun, I guess. Feels good, feels natural. Oh, yeah, so separating the movement engine into two parts. That's what I gotta make a note of. Alright, it's been 1 hour, so I might call it quits. I might try to go through some bonus material first. I'll just put this at the top. To do split movement engine from movement control engine. I just need to disable the control part. I don't need to disable the whole movement engine. Actually, I want him to keep moving while he's in first person mode. Okay, good. Let me check out the documents I have left. So, we went over camera movement. We have a switch from third person to first person. Oh yeah, see, I wanted to do the slow radius movement too. That was another thing I wanted to do. Alright, now the thing I don't need to work on right away, and this could be further down the road. I'm just kicking this can further down the road. Transition from first person cam to third person cam instead of cutting between cameras, which is working fine right now. I might change the key of that too. I might make left shift the walk, and then C could be the camera. Switch from third person to first person. Cool. I think we got that covered. Let's do one of these two right now. But which one would go first? Yeah, I think the big picture planning. We just really need to come up with more topics to talk about in our future episodes. And separate movement engine from movement control. Okay, cool. So we got the basics, we got the movement going. We still have some movement stuff to work on, but we can work on it later. This transition we can work on later. These are just polished things more than actual gameplay. Like, you can get the feel of the gameplay without those things in there. Probably without a lot of things. Really, I just needed the rigid body to make the gameplay, see if it feels good. But I feel like I wanted that movement engine, not just for this game, but for all future games that I make. Because I really feel like all three of those components should be talking to each other. Okay, big picture planning. Let's see what we got to do. What's our next thing that we got to do? Let's see. I can go to OneNote, I guess. No. We'll keep playing in Visual Studio and just put it here in a bonus. Okay, sorry, I was just kind of stretching. All right. We have a guy. He's moving around. We can get him to see first person. that first person camera will actually be more of a first person downwards looking camera. I think we're just gonna have to tackle the very next thing, which will be modifying the terrain and placing sandcastle things down, like sandcastle buckets. It might be easier just to do the sandcastle bucket first, just because all that's going to be entailing is that we're going to create an object. We're going to put the bucket down, lift it up, and this is only in the first person mode. And when you lift it up, there'll be an object sitting there, and it'll be the sandcastle, or the whatever the mold was. So that is definitely creation of the mold. Deformation of the terrain. Oof, this one's gonna be tough because we have built-in Unity terrain. Might be too slow for the game. And then maybe make our own deformable terrain, because the built-in terrain Unity does tons of stuff. What I really want to do is just have like a patch of deformable terrain. Right when you go into the first person mode, I want that patch to be editable. And like, so if you do a little swipe to like dig, I want that dig to be just on that patch. The terrain itself, everything else can be static, but that patch itself is going to be dynamic. And so if I try to use the Unity built-in terrain and use the Unity built-in functions to deform the terrain, it's going to be really slow because it's got to do calculation on the entire terrain, and it could be a whole world. Whereas when you're making sandcastles, you'll be focused on a very small section of the world, so you should really only have to deform that area. So yep, that's what I'm going to do, kind of delete the patch around the terrain somehow, maybe just sync it all the way to 0, 0, 0, and then you'll be able to just modify the world, the new like patch plane I put on top of there, which is a deformable like plane that you can use. So I hope that makes sense. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But creation of the mold, that should be the easy thing, and that will just be placing an object on something. And shoot, maybe even somewhere between that, before or after, we also need to create a beach terrain to play on. So okay, yeah, we're gonna create a beach terrain, create a mold, and then deform. We gotta figure out how to deform the terrain. Or if anything, before we even deform this terrain, we can collect sand. So to make molds. So we create the beach terrain, we're gonna make the mold. But before you can even put the mold down, you gotta have enough sand. So this is what I'm thinking. If you have enough sand for the bucket, you put the terrain down, the mold down, and then you get the shape. But if you put the mold down and you only had like half the bucket, the sand will just come out, but then it'll just come out as a pile. It won't come up at like the mold. So it'll just look like a pile of sand, which I think is fine too. And then maybe there's like a chance that there's like a 5 or 2% chance that your mold will become a pile, and then you have to dig it back up and try again. So yeah, these are the things I'm thinking. And yeah, that will take some significant time. So that's good. That gives me some topics to talk about next week and this weekend. Creation of the beach terrain, creation of the mold. I think I want to do the mold first. I never tackled that before, but it feels like I'm just going to instantiate a castle object over and over again. And we don't have to do that like on sand or anything. It can still be on this test world that we're playing on. Okay, that's good. I feel like that's good. Oh, what's up, Bobby? Yep, just working on some games, dude. But I've already been streaming for like an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm probably going to call it quits in just a sec. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Anything else? Anything I'm missing? Anything else that I need to do today? I kind of want to talk about the Git, because let me just show you right quick. I'm gonna pull up my phone. I am gonna pull up an example software, so I know you're not gonna be able to see this very well, so I'm gonna try my best. So that was like the original test scene. So every time I commit a Git, which is a versioning software, it puts a link on my phone that I can kind of download and start like tapping places, and I mean it puts the game on my phone, so I can tap around, I can hold my finger down, and he'll move there. Yeah. So it's very helpful to test your stuff on the actual device itself, so you know it feels good. So I really want to talk about that as well. I don't know if I should talk about it now or just save it till next time. Let's just start talking about it, and then if I run out of time, like 1 hour 30 minutes will be my limit. I can talk about it next time. So what I said was Git was versioning software. So basically, you did all this work. You want to like make this you want to take a snapshot of this in time, just in case whatever you do in the future, you might have messed up a function or something. You can look back at your snapshot in time. So that's what Git's all about. And I think if I go to the website, or if I just Google Git, oh shoot, yeah, and GitHub is a community of people that use Git and program all sorts of stuff that's free, stuff that's paid. But here you go. Git's a freeware, open source, distributed version control system. Handles large projects. Yes. So that is very nice. Smart Git is a GUI for this. If you are using this for any kind of profit, you have to pay for it. If you're using it for personal or non-commercials, you don't have to pay for it. But yeah. Man, I just realized there is a lot of setup for this, so I don't know if I want to go into this right now. But just to use the versioning part of it, not necessarily, because versioning is just a piece of the equation. The other piece of the equation is uploading it to servers and to your other developers that are working on the same project as you. So if you are sorry, thinking. Yeah, so if you're working on a big project together, maybe everyone's working on a different branch of the game, so you want to kind of split up that work and people work on their own thing, and then at the end you want to merge all your changes into one big thing. You can do that with this. I know with Unity it's a little different because it's own engine, but like if you're just programming in C# and stuff, like you get all the different changes and you can see everything. So like even if I click on here, like dig level, oh no, I can't, so nothing I can show you right now, but basically you'll see like what is currently there and what was there, and then you can see what the changes were, and then so you get like some kind of manager at the end of the project to merge all these changes together and decide which changes should take effect, which changes shouldn't take effect. So Git's very powerful. Yeah. No, I know. I'm explaining it to the viewers, but I'm also explaining it to myself, just so I can remember what's going on. And I save all these videos to YouTube, so if I ever need to go back or just want to see something in the past, I can do it. So it's for the viewers, but it's also for me, you know. And really, this whole thing is just so I can keep track of like a timeline to get through my game. More than anything, this is a great tool for that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a new Git, and what I'm going to do is this test stream, the one we're working on right now, I'm going to make that a new Git folder. Oh, except I'm not cloning it. I am actually creating a new one. So add or create, and it's going to be this one, Documents, Unity, Test stream. I'm using Git, so Git is the way to go. test stream. So it's going to ask you to do all these files, and I'm not sure if all of them are necessary. So give me one sec here. There is a get.ignore or .getignore, and yeah, there's tons to keep up with, man. So I just kind of put the basic topics on my titles from here, and then hopefully I remember if I ever run into an issue like, oh, I was having trouble with the movement. Let me see when I actually implement the movement, what happened, what did I do? And YouTube's cool because you can run it like at 2x speed or maybe even faster, and you can, like, the way I talk, I guess I talk kind of slow, so it sounds pretty good when you're at 2x speed. So I'm trying to get something from my documents. Unity, Sand City. No, yeah, Sand City, because that one has something I need. Get.ignore. I'm gonna put this in test stream. Sorry I have this happening off screen, but I don't need y'all to see everything I'm doing. Okay, so I have this .getignore, and this tells Git what files to ignore. So anything in the library folder, anything in the temp folder, anything in the object folder or the build folder, don't worry about it. And you can also ignore all these like project files that it makes, because if you put on another computer, it's gonna regenerate all of that, and then it ignores the rest of the stuff too. So cool. So these are the files that I actually need. And besides the Ethan model, I'm not going to commit this Git yet because I want to delete all the standard asset stuff because it's not my stuff. It's not the stuff I worked on, so I don't really want to commit it to my Git, and I don't want to ignore it either. I just need to delete it from my project. But there's one thing I need to replace before I can commit everything, and that's the Ethan model. That's not my model. That's the one that's built into Unity. Or not built in, but included with Unity. So I want to create a model in 3D Studio Max, and let me add that to the big picture. So where's my README? README, yeah, here we go. Let's also create a few models. And the models I want to create are a player model, which is just going to be the built-in like 3D Studio Max biped base human or something. Player model, sandcastle 1, 2, and 3. Maybe we can have like a sandcastle, a wall, and a box or something, and that way you have some things to play with. Okay, am I making sense? I hope so. So cool. And this is going to be, we should just call this like next time. Or future. Cool. So yeah, big picture stuff. So we'll create all of that. We'll have a world you can play with. Let's keep going with the big picture, and then I'll quit the stream. So we're doing that. And if you have suggestions, throw it in the chat if you're listening to me at all. If not, that's okay too. So we have a guy, he can walk around, he can place sand castles, he's going to be able to dig, he's going to collect sand, place those things. The water, yes, water waves, that's going to be super hard. Water wave, marine life, sandy beach life. I'm particularly thinking of like birds and stuff, little birds that kind of run around. What else? Beach life. Big picture stuff. Sandy beach life. A menu screen. Network ability. Server, client stuff. Just a quick note on that. the way I want it to work is server is going to be handling almost everything. Client is just a viewer of what the server is doing. So the server is going to be like authoritative. So it's going to know everything that's going to happen. Uh, Sharks, water spouts, pirates. All very good. Uh, I guess this is what I can do. If the player goes out too far into the water, something like that could happen. But then I'm gonna like scare all the kids, right? I don't know. Um, Pirates. Maybe pirates can come and smash your sandcastle, laugh at you, and run away, unless you put like the right amount of defenses or something around it. I'm gonna put question marks by all of them, but dude, I'm gonna write these ideas down. Why not? Sharks. What are water spouts? I know I should know what water spouts are. Is it like something that shoots water out? Like just out of the middle of the sand? Sharks. I'm thinking about how I can include sharks in a sandcastle building game, but without like being too like gruesome or unnecessarily. Oh yeah, that's right. Water spouts are those tornadoes on the water. Yeah, I like that though, because that would actually blow up a sandcastle as opposed to a shark. And maybe a shark could just, I mean, it doesn't have to be totally serious either. Like, a shark could just jump out of the water, eat your sandcastle, and then go back in or something. And then pirates, yeah. Pirates would be easy because they're just people, you know. They can park their boat and come smash it. So, yeah, because the game portion of this whole, like, sandbox type game is like, okay, so the sandbox portion, think Minecraft. Like, you're not doing anything, you're just building stuff and doing crazy crap. So I'm going to limit that to just building a sandcastle. But the game part of the whole thing would be the protecting your castle from the elements, from waters, from sharks, from water spouts, from pirates, you know, from these different things. Uh, Kind of like Minecraft. Minecraft, you're protecting yourself from zombies and blow whatever those green things are that blow stuff up. So it is a sandcastle, I mean sandbox type game, but taking place only on a beach and only it's not going to be voxels or anything. It's going to be actual 3D models and sand dynamics, which I think is going to be cool. So yeah, I hope that does sound awesome. I said like my inspiration was I went to the beach this summer and it was just fun building sandcastles, and I thought, man, there should be tons of games about building sandcastles. I looked out there and there was like one or two games, and it was really very kid friendly and very bad looking. If you YouTube them, like you'll see them. Although there's like a Powerpuff Girls sandcastle game that was pretty fun, but it was nothing about building sandcastles. You're just like defending your sandcastles. And then there's like a SpongeBob sandcastle game where again you're not building sandcastles, you're just defending your sandcastles from stuff. And yeah, I guess you could make this from Minecraft, but it's all about the look and feel of it too, I guess. Like I don't want it to be just blocks, you know. I want it to be like a good looking game, like, you know, shiny water, sand dynamics as opposed to huge blocks falling everywhere. I don't know. It's cool, but it's kind of lame at the same time, right? Like it's just these huge blocks, and I just want something more fluid, you know, something more. I don't know. There's just something that I'm going for that's not quite Minecraft-ish, if that makes any sense. And yeah, because like if you pick up even like a tower defense game, because that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like you build your own tower defense game, and then these things start happening. And but I do like the multiplayer ability of Minecraft. So like I do want multiple people to come help you build the same castle if you can, because I think that's all the fun of it. Like you going to other people's sandcastles and helping them out. So there'll be, I'm thinking beach servers where basically the server will hold all the information about the beach, and then the clients will be, so you can serve that at your house. Just like I mean, Minecraft and all other games kind of use the same model. Like basically, there's one host and a whole bunch of people that join that game, and the host actually has a lot of the logic. Like the host is authoritative, so it knows everything. So that's all the code stuff that I will be implementing and doing this whole time. But yeah, that's gonna be later. That's gonna be here towards the end. We have so much like basic stuff to go through, but this is big picture planning. So, man, Bobby, thank you for coming on and helping me big picture plan because I sometimes get stuck in the minutia of everything, and having this big picture stuff really helps out. Okay, 1 hour and 30 minutes. I think that's it for me today. I got good things going for me, lots of things to work on. This looks really good to start off with, and I'd love to get 3D Studio Max going, so this is perfect. Alright, y'all. Any questions or anything, leave me a question on either Twitter, YouTube, wherever. My name's ETdoFresh in all those different places, so you'll find me somewhere, social media, somehow. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, here, on Twitch, and YouTube. Did I say YouTube? Alright, well, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Yeah, cool. This should be up in about 20-30 minutes on YouTube. See you then. Bye, y'all.